Hey there, YouTube land, and hey, Sammy. You did a really interesting and cool plea for physical media, so I thought I'd give my take on it. Asked for video responses, and I want to give mine on where I think this is all going. And all of it's not going the way that I want it to go, but I do think that physical media is going to stay around. And here's why. And here's how I think it's going to go. Movies are going to be. You saw what happened with the Twilight Time, $29 price range. You saw the Nightbreed, the average price of a Criterion, and every couple times a year we get graced with a sale on one of those things. But normally there's a price point that's a little bit higher. Every once in a while we get it from the 19 range, stuff like that. Now, if you're really lucky, you pre-order it and you get it for like a decent price. Anyway, I'm going somewhere with this. Don't worry. Media is going to get a little bit more expensive, and it's going to be more collector driven. You're going to see a lot more of the stuff that I personally collect being given more of a spotlight, because it's, see behind me all the Screen Factories and Arrows and all the Criterions and stuff like that. That's the stuff that that people that collect physical media, that's what we buy. That's what we spend money on. More so than a lot of the mainstream stuff that comes out on a weekly basis. That's why you're seeing so much of that stuff go so quickly into the $5 bin at Walmart. And that's why you're seeing so many deals made by companies like major companies to smaller, like distributors. There was a time in Mill Creek, pretty much mostly what they put out was just public domain stuff. And now Mill Creek has gotten deals to put out some incredible stuff and TV series that would have been premium price collector's editions at one point. You would have had to pay a good penny for 21 Jump Street episode seasons, or even like best of episodes, series like that, like Roseanne, Third Rock from the Sun. All these were bigger shows that looked like they were going to go in a higher end, and we're going to see more of the catalog stuff either come out on Blu-ray in a pretty bare bones edition, or we're going to see some of it go towards the video on demand archive stuff. As for digital media isn't going to go anywhere. Digital media isn't going to replace physical media. That's the biggest concern right now, is that digital media is going to somehow replace physical media. Companies would love that. They would love to see digital media replace physical media, because then you would literally be paying the price that you buy something for to, well, virtually rent it for however length of time that it's available. So of course they would like to see something like that happen. But that being said, they're smarter than that, and that's why we've got these collector's editions. That's why I spend a good chunk of change to buy The Walking Dead in a big, cool, in my glass case edition, rather than just having it over there with like some other TV box sets. Because collector mentality is what's going to drive this industry forward, and honestly, it's us buying. Netflix is replacing video stores for right now. Netflix and Redbox they're basically the equivalent to the old mom and pop. Actually, not mom and pop. They're equivalent to the old chain franchise video stores, and that's kind of their place in the whole grasp of things. Digital media has taken off to a certain extent, but it hasn't completely gotten there. There's still a lot of people that basically, when they get their, there's a reason people are taking their digital codes and selling them online and stuff like that, because casual viewer that doesn't care is going to buy that, and they're still going to have their box sets. They really, and that casual viewer, 9 tenths out of 10, a lot of times he's going to pick up some stuff too, because it's a piece of paper, and no matter what you think about I'm going to get rid of all this, and, a lot of people say that and don't stick with it because well, it's not too impressive showing everybody your downloaded stuff or your Netflix. You can come into my house and know that I'm a movie collector and I've got a passion for it. Or you can go into somebody's house, even if they got a small collection of movies. Usually, people have like a small like movies and these are movies they bought because these movies meant something to them, or movies that they wanted, or something that maybe they bought at a time. And they may not be big movie collectors, but they're still movies that they bought because they want to own them, because it means that much to them that this was one that they saw in a store somewhere. Maybe they were going to get something else. Maybe they're at Walmart and they were buying something else. They said, "Oh yeah, I like The Matrix, and that's cheap," and they picked it up. Or they're going through the $5, or they're going around there and they pass the $5 bin, or they go by the new releases and there's like an older one there, and they grab a movie for their kid, and while they're there, they're like, "Oh, I want to see this," or well, we can wait till it comes on Netflix. Yes, but how long is it going to be before it comes on Netflix? And that's where I see it going. That right now, as long as Netflix or Show Me, which is the new thing here in Canada, which I don't see going very far, because this is what they did wrong. They started a new digital thing here in Canada called Show Me, which is supposed to be competing sort of Netflix, like a Canadian Netflix, except it's got more TV shows than movies. But Rogers and Shaw went together to do it, and you can only get Show Me, which is $8.99, if you have Rogers or Shaw.
What's the point then?
Exactly. You can't actually get it without it. And I was, because first when I heard about it, I was like, "Oh, awesome! If I can't get Hulu right now on in Canada, maybe I'll get Show Me, because they got a lot of TV shows and stuff." And then I looked at it and I'm like, it's only Rogers and Shaw, and I'm like, I ain't going for Rogers. So it's a massive fail. And that's the way it is for a lot of this stuff. You're gonna see a lot of digital channels come and go. Shout Factory themselves are gonna be doing a digital one. Full Moon has a digital channel. YouTube has little channels on here that you can watch movies on, that are done by companies. WWE went digital. But that being said, every month there's a new WWE documentary coming out. Digital might have the documentary, but it doesn't have all the features, the bonuses, and stuff like that. And that's one place where it matters. When people are collecting sports stuff, when people are collecting like Olympic DVDs or Blu-rays, hockey sets, wrestling sets, and they're diehard collectors. These are people that collect all the time. There are guys on here that are wrestling YouTubers, and they go on and they will show every release, and they're there at Walmart to pick them up. And it's not, you can say, well, that's a niche market, and like this is a niche market, but it's a lot of interconnected niche markets that makes up one huge market. I collect horror and Criterion's. I collect, my better half collects Disney. The Disney treasures. She wants to have every one of those. She likes her animation. My dad likes the older horror, and he likes the Sword and Sandal movies. Even his wife, who's not a big movie person at all, especially being with my dad. She's like, "No, you watch too many movies. I don't like them." She likes thrillers. Everybody's got this little area that they watch, and Netflix is good for a while, but you kind of get tired. You get tired of Hulu. You want to see. Now, I can see TV shows, and even TV shows. People say, well, I can binge watch this on Hulu. I can binge watch this on Netflix, and people do. But at the end of the day, a lot of those people that are actually fans of those shows that watch it, they still go out and buy the season of Orange is the New Black. They still go out and buy Supernatural. They still buy Grimm because they're fans. And although they watched it on TV, it's on Netflix. Some of them will say, well, I can watch it on Netflix. But come Black Friday or Boxing Day, those same people that are just going to watch it on Netflix, they're picking it up. Digital has its place. It will have its place. The world is changing, and we change with it. I'm not a digital movie collector. I don't think that anybody has movies and consider himself a movie collector can be a digital movie collector. That may seem snobby of me, but it's true. You either collect films or you don't collect films. Some people are really dedicated to collecting all medias. There's a YouTuber by the name of Cinema Sickness that collects all media forms. I don't always like the types of movies that he collects, but that's my personal preference. That's his personal preference. I really enjoy watching his videos because he's somebody that's keeping all the media forms alive, and we need more people like that. Blu-ray Hoarder collects just Blu-rays. He's hardcore about it, and he's got tons of Blu-rays. And I admire his collection, admire the stuff that he does. Across the world, it's not just here in North America. Wilderness Basement. There's just so many of them. Sparky Gerbil that have their stuff that they collect. And digital isn't going to cut it for them. And is it becoming more niche? I don't think so. I think we tend to think it's becoming more niche because we tend to look in the areas that we collect in. And we don't look outside. It's becoming more segmented. We're familiar with the Screen Factories and Arrows and Snaps and Severance and all that because it's what we're into. It's the type that we collect. We want the features. We want these old movies and these classics and these things that have never been on VHS or DVD or things that you never thought you were going to be able to see. And all of a sudden, Killer Fish is on Blu-ray, and you're like, really? Well, there's other movies that are still major films that aren't out there because that segment of the market hasn't been buying the way that we have. There's a ton of Screen Factory, there's a ton of Arrow, there's Snaps, there's Arrow USA coming out now. And the reason that's coming is because there's a market for it. That's in the simplest terms, I went to business school. If there's a market for something, there will be people to market it. And we're very lucky right now. For a long time, the casuals were buying. And we got thrown something every once in a while. We got, oh, look, Halloween's coming out. Thank God. Oh, look, Halloween 4 is coming out. And there'd be ones in between. And usually it would be a cheaper company that would do it. We'd find, like, you go, especially in the VHS days, you go there and, like, oh, you'd go through and you'd find, like, all these sports VHS, and you'd find, like, this mainstream stuff. And, like, down and below, down at the bottom, you find, like, a Star Choice or something like that. And it'd be, like, Hellraiser 2 or 3 or something. It'd be on an EP speed. If you remember EP, it's like this really bad quality VHS where there's only a little bit of tape on it because it's all put on this, like, stretched out to the worst possible format that you can think. Those movies are getting the Blu-ray editions right now. A lot of the stuff that I bought, those little EP VHS tapes, bypassed DVD altogether. Didn't even get there. And we're seeing them come out because the segment of collectors that are buying right now is it's doing well. And the people that study film, Criterion, that's doing well. Now, this could go like this for a while, and it could flip around, and then action movies and comedies and whatever, and people could start, like, honing in on that, and we'll have a new wave of collectors, and there'll be a new generation, and we'll be like, oh, what happened to all those movies that we used to like? Remember when Screen Factory was good? We said that about Anchor Bay. Remember when Anchor Bay was good and Anchor Bay was the only one going around? Well, now there's a lot of Anchor Bays, basically, that are doing the same stuff. Physical media hasn't lessened in the way that some people think it's lessened. A lot of stores have, that carry a lot more of the movies. They don't carry so many of them, but not because they're not available. We buy in a different way. Amazon, Diabolic DVD. There's just, from the companies themselves, they've found ways to cut out fees, to cut out costs that they have to pay, to cut out the middleman. And we're buying.
I think more so, they don't have to market anymore because the market looks for them.
Exactly,
as
that's
opposed
true.
to the other. So they don't need a storefront because you will be looking for them. You will go and check Screen Factory as opposed to Screen Factory looking for you.
That's an excellent point. In case you didn't hear, by the way, because she talks a little low from over in her throne chair, that's my better half, the love of my life. She said, nowadays, they don't need the storefront to market to us. We look for it. We can go find it. Years ago, and people were so worried that you could download stuff, so people weren't going to buy stuff. But all it did was give us another way to shop for the stuff that we already shop for and made it more convenient. Sure, it's okay, and when people first find downloading, they download like crazy. Trust me. I know. But that only lasts for so long when you realize hard drive space, burnt off copies are burnt off copies for a reason. They're not quality and they don't last. They really don't last. And you look at your thing and you're like, no, I like this movie. I watched it a few times. It's skipping already. I want a real copy. Because you know what? You can always, those movies and those places that people used to download from, a lot of them are gone. There's very few that are left. And even people that download are mostly people that collect anyway, that trade back and forth and buy. I was a person at one point, I did do some downloading, but everything that I've ever downloaded, I think, I now own. Whether that's my white, boy, native Canadian guilt that has to own everything eventually, or just my consumerism. Physical media, mark my words, is not going anywhere. And they want us to think that physical media is in danger. They want to give that thing so that we buy and we grab and we get this now. And the only thing that has shocked them, really, is that Blu-ray is just starting to catch on. And they got 4K coming out. There's always something new. They are still amazed that DVD managed to hold on the way that it has. That's the most amazing thing that the companies have found. But it's fantastic. There's Blu-ray DVD combo packs. There's DVD editions. Criterion tried to do Blu-ray DVD combo packs for a while. Realized that there was such a huge market still for people that just wanted to buy Criterion DVDs and not buy Blu-rays. That Criterion, one of the big selling companies in the world, actually had to go back on what they were doing and split up from the combo packs to doing a Blu-ray edition and a DVD edition. That is how big the market is right now for collecting. So no, do not take away our physical media. I don't think you want to take away our physical media, actually, if I'm addressing the companies. I think you know that both work well together, and you're getting clever with your marketing. You are cleverly putting things in niche categories that go into niche categories. You are doing video on demand where a lot of stuff is being pretty much burnt straight and sent out. it's becoming more factory-ish in some ways, but in other ways, we've seen a lot of stuff that wouldn't have gotten this type of it wouldn't have gotten this type of feel, this type of packaging, this type of, I don't really know the word I'm looking for. This, it wouldn't have got this
Care.
care. Yeah, that's a good one. Care. Without this, because they want us to keep looking and to keep buying, and they want us to keep buying physical. That's why they throw in the digital codes. That's why DVDs are still there, because they know it's not going anywhere. There'll always be digital channels. The places that were nervous are not around. Blockbuster, places like that. Places.
Renting is different. It's a different story.
It's a very different feel. It's a very different feel. It's a very different feels. Renting is a different thing. Will we ever see the mom and pops come back? I'm sure there's going to be a resurgence down the road of mom and pops. But you know what? I don't know if it'll be a big resurgence, but I think everything goes in cycles. 5-10 years ago, I would never thought I would see a record store again, or records selling it anywhere. You can go to almost any store now and find a record section, a little record section. They're slow.
Buy, not to rent. It's the renting part that's not alive anymore, because you can rent on your TV.
Oh, you can rent on your TV. You can rent on your
So why
box.
go to the store?
But that being said, as easy it is to rent from your house, it's just as easy to buy from your house. And they've done a great job of making that happen.
But the problem is that even if you buy from your house, you never own that copy.
Oh no, I mean buying as in from Amazon or something.
Yes, obviously.
Or
yes.
Screen Factory. People, so everybody here that still collects DVDs and Blu-rays, whatever you collect, fantastic. Anybody that went out and sold other DVDs or Blu-rays and assumed that digital media was just taking over, sorry. You got to think a little bit deeper for it. Thanks for watching, guys. My voice is going, or would definitely talk more about this. Falagar, Sammy, this is a fantastic topic, and it's something that's great to talk about. Enjoyed your video. Hope you watch this one. Hope you like it. And remember, Bad Dreams with Jennifer Rubens is really cool, but visiting hours is Ironside and the Shatner. That is two extremes. The only way that could get any better is if Anthony Hopkins showed up, and it is scene chewing acting. That's a movie I want to see. Michael Ironside, Anthony Hopkins, and William Shatner, and just watch them outact each other. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yes.
That'd be awesome. It's time for tea. Let's hope that movie happens.